Today we're gonna figure out how similar or different Switcher is to Jujutsu Kaisen's Todo. Todo is a third-year student at Jujutsu Tech's Kyoto school. He is known for his extreme physical strength, high intelligence in battle, and unique personality. Unique is just a nice way of saying that he enjoys asking people what their type in women is and is an avid fan of a Japanese idol. He was mentored by Yuki Tsukumo at a young age and was known to be on a different level compared to all his other fellow students. Without his curse technique, Todo is still a powerhouse, but after understanding how he uses it, you will get why he is such a force to be reckoned with. Boogie Woogie is his curse technique, which allows him to switch the positions of anything with curse energy within his range by a clap of his hands. He can change himself out with a location of another person or switch to different parties other than himself. Though a clap is required to trigger the ability, he does not have to clap both of his hands specifically, as Todo is shown triggering Boogie Woogie by clapping Mahito's hand with his own. Now that you understand Todo a little bit more, we can go on to the in-game cosmetic changes. Switcher is the first character to have a real physical change to the player model that isn't a cosmetic like Honored One's eye covering. When equipped with Switcher, you are taller and wider than all other characters. This is also the same in JJK due to Todo being way taller and buffer than almost every other human being. The only other change is his M1s being bright blue, which is in coordination with Todo's curse energy coloring in the anime. Now before we get into the moveset, let's talk about his special. Boogie Woogie allows the player to clap their hands and swap with a nearby target or throwable object. It is blockable but not at a close range. You can also feint this swap by using your M1 before finishing the clap. And finally, you can perfect swap by timing your M1 after you finish clapping, lowering the cooldown from 10 seconds to only 2. This is integral to the playstyle of Switcher due to the unpredictability and disorientation in order to get close and use your moves. I also heard that if you were to subscribe right this second, you would get Boogie Woogie. Only catch is that it just works on you and your grandma. Okay, now let's get into the moveset. The first move is called Swift Kick. The user performs a spin towards the enemy before landing a powerful kick that stuns them and throws them away, following it up by a long run with their arms out, grabbing anyone and spinning them before tossing them away. The kick is blockable but not the charge. This is taken from the sequence during the Shibuya incident where Todo and Yuji were facing off against Mahito. You can see him performing the spinning kick, but he doesn't land, and when he goes for the throw, Mahito counters him. Following that is brute force. The user leans their arms back to charge up a powerful punch, dealing high damage and knockback without using cursed energy. This unblockable attack will fling the target away, creating a large shockwave. You have to be close enough to use it properly, or else the knockback and damage will be significantly lower. There is no attack that Todo does exactly like this, but he has done a barrage of punches to Megami that could have been as devastating as the in-game attack. Todo is a martial arts master and is extremely strong, so he would definitely be able to do this. This attack does have a finisher and will excessively launch your target into oblivion. Alright, next up is Pebble Throw. The user slams their foot into the ground to knock up a pebble, simultaneously imbuing it with cursed energy. They then hit the pebble mid-air to propel it forward in a straight line. Once landed, it will deal minimal knockback and stun and will not ragdoll the target, and this can be used to interrupt the move. Before I explain where this comes from, let me explain the variants. By using the special within 1.5 seconds after the pebble hits the target, the user can switch with it and perform a series of punches that leave the opponent stunned without ragdolling them. But if you were to use Pebble Throw and quickly swap with the pebble, you will do this glide. If you combine this with brute force while in a glide, you will stop and do a kicking motion. And if you were then to time it properly and use brute force similar to Divergent Fist, you will perform Todo's Black Flash. Every part of this attack is inspired by his Black Flash against Mahito, as you can tell by the pebble, the animation, and the Black Flash kick. By finishing someone with the Black Flash, you will get a slight Black Flash animation and will start to hear the same music that was played when Todo did his. Now on to Elbow Drop. This makes you perform a charged uppercut, sending your opponent flying upwards before following it up with a dive that crushes your target with your weight, bouncing them off the ground. Anyone struck by this move cannot evade it using their ragdoll cancel. I couldn't find anything that resembles this entirely in the anime or manga, but if you know, please comment it down below. Okay, now we can talk about the ultimate titled False Memories, which looks like this. The name is in reference to the fact that Todo was given false memories of his childhood best friend Yuji, who in reality he had just met not even an hour ago. The animation is inspired by this scene in the anime when Todo was about to die to Mahito and had to lock in through inspiration from his two favorite people in the world. As this cutscene is playing, this is what the other person is seeing. And as you think that Takada-chan is by your side, the other person just thinks you're schizo. This is because Todo did exactly this while in his dream state in his final clash with Mahito. While you're in your awakening, you will no longer get ult drain from using your special, and your screen will have a pink light glow effect. Most of the awaken attacks can be seen in this sequence, so let's go through them. The first move of the ultimate is called Idol's Debut. This allows a player to perform a short forward lunge, triggering a cutscene where they launch whoever they caught upwards before their idol kicks them down to the floor. This is taken from this scene. After that is Climax Jumping. The user winds up a long forward dash. If a target is grabbed with this, a cutscene will play where they are flurried by multiple blows from the user and the idol, before the target is thrown away and the player raises their arms in the sky with their idol, while a boxing bell rings. This one is taken from this scene. Moving on to Dreams, the user spreads their arms out before rapidly doing a barrage consisting of 3 forward punches, each emitting pink heart effects when landed. This is taken from this scene. And finally, the last move is called Brothers. The user performs a pose, which if they successfully counter a melee attack, allows them to use the attacker's hand to switch with their brother, Yuji Itadori, who performs an absolutely devastating Black Flash. If no attack is countered, the player will swap on their own, allowing Yuji to lunge forward and do the same Black Flash before switching back. The counter of this attack is almost identical to the scene where Todo does exactly that by swapping with Yuji using Mahito's hand even after losing his own, which essentially kills his entire technique. That's just fire, and also the normal attack is still something that Todo and Yuji could do. Okay, now time to grade how similar Switcher is to JJK's Todo, with most of the base moves being Todo attacks except elbow drop, the ultimate being on theme, and just the perfection that Boogie Woogie is. I'm gonna have to give Switcher a similarity rating of an A to Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, if you made it this far, then you should go check my playlist of all of my JJS Explained videos. I also have a playlist of all the Explained videos that I've ever done, so I'll leave a link to that in the description. Millz Mafia out. Yeah.